Hello, everyone. It's your sister Roland, and all I need is a few minutes to talk about a viral TikTok series or viral story time that's been going around. And the TikToker name is Reesa Teesa or Ressa Tessa, I believe. And it's called Who the F Did I Marry? So, my daughter told me about this TikTok series and she told me I should watch it. And I've just gotten to, I believe, part five. I think that's up to part five. I believe it's like 50 parts or 51 parts is up in the 50s. It's a lot. So basically, in this series, she's letting us know how she did not know she was married to a pathological liar. And many people may find this like, entertaining because, she's telling all her business. Not sure what her end goal is, but I believe to me, maybe she's trying to, you know, warn people of the things that she missed, the red flag that she missed, the things that she wasn't on top of, she wasn't aware, and this is why she ended up, just so another young lady or another young man don't fall into that, situation. If you heed to this warning, some people just gonna, yeah, that was so, oh my goodness, he's so evil, oh my goodness, look, she's so dumb. They say no, they're not even getting the lesson. So if you don't get the lesson, if God forbid you fall into something like this, your plight is gonna be much worse because you got warning comes before destruction. But anyway, so in the beginning, like in the beginning of the this relationship was something else, because the fact that she met this guy in March of 2020, right before, the lockdown came from C-19, and in within May of 2020, her and this guy was already planning on buying a house. That was very fast. That was extremely fast. And why? Because her guards were down and she was very comfortable. Why she was very comfortable? Because something happened in the beginning of the relationship. Let's take a listen.
So on my way to our date, I took 285. Before I got to Boulder Crest, the exit for Boulder Crest, I heard a boom and I lost control of my car.
So, as you heard, right before, the date that they planned, her tire blew out. Now, for me, other people, we would take that as a warning. But sometimes when you don't know, you would take that as a challenge, or you wouldn't even give that any thought. That's like something normal. But it continues.
He shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world. He followed me to the tire place and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely like, wow. We follow each other to the Cheesecake Factory over in Perimeter. We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I had butterflies.
You better be careful when you feeling those butterflies when you just meet somebody, because those butterflies will lead you astray. Have you ever followed a butterfly? Where does it lead you? But yet, when we feel butterflies, that means, oh my goodness, this must be the one. No. So, from March, she met him in March, the beginning of March, and by May, they were already planning on buying a house. Why? Because he, when her tire blew out, he fixed the tire. He fixed the tire, and then he paid for another one. So at her vulnerable, that was a vulnerable moment for her, a vulnerable moment for her, and he came to save her. So that's why when they were walking in Cheesecake Factory, even though that's her first time meeting this guy, yes, they talked on the phone, but I believe they was talking on the phone for like a few days. she was comfortable enough to hold hands with him. You know, hold hands mean that means you guys, that means you locked in. That's my boo, you my boo. We together, we in this forever. So, and but that was the first time she met him. But at her vulnerable moment, he showed up. So to be very careful, especially when you're first dating, especially when you're first dating at your vulnerable moments. Some things, you know, the person do for you, okay, you're appreciative, but that's not enough to determine if you are boyfriend or girlfriend material, or boyfriend or girl. We could be boyfriend or girlfriend. Let's say that we could be boyfriend or girlfriend. That's not enough. But sometimes, for some of us men, some of us women, things like that is enough, and that's how we get caught up. So she said that she did not know that she married a pathological liar, which she, you know, she didn't know. But God knew, and God was trying to warn her. And why did I say that? Because she did say that, you know, she grew up in the church, she knew about God. So when you have, and people always have this notion, you know, God talks to whoever he wants. Look, he talked to Pharaoh. Pharaoh didn't even know but to the about God. He didn't pray to God. But when he needed to warn Pharaoh about what was going to happen in the land, he talked to Pharaoh. So God was trying to warn her. Why I say this? This is what she said.
I knew there was something. Something was nagging me like, but I kept pushing it out of my mind. I was
So some people would call what she just explained God. I would call it God. Definitely, that was God trying to warn her. Others may call it, and this is part of your intuition also. It's part of your intuition because she had an uneasy feeling. Something was nagging at her. Something is not right. And this is before, I'm telling you, this is part five. So we haven't even got all down when they got married and stuff like that. I believe she was already pregnant at this time, but she had this nagging feeling because even though she didn't know, but God knew who this man was. He knew who this man was. And even though she didn't know, but she did not go to the person that knew, that could tell her about this guy. God placed something inside you, and then you should, well, should go and seek God to say, why am I have this nagging feeling? But so what do? We talk ourselves out, even with our intuition. Even if you don't believe in God, your intuition is telling you, you know, something is off, something is off. What we do, we talk ourselves out of those things. So we don't do investigation. Some people who don't believe in God, you may go investigate or whatever, or if you believe in God, you go pray and fast about it. Say, why am I having this nagging feeling? And then God, who knows this person, will reveal more to you. And some people may say, oh, well, if God knew what he was, why he just didn't tell her everything? No, God is not going to go against your will. You have free will. So if your will is to believe, even though you have this nagging feeling that yeah, something's off, something fishy about him, something is not right with things that he's telling me, if that's your will to believe that, God is not going to say, no, no, you must believe this is who he is. God is never going to do that. He's never going to go against your will. He never will. It will give you little things so you can seek out to him or do your own investigation, but it's never going to go against your will. And unfortunately, no, she didn't know to seek God in that sense for that nagging feeling. And then she said that she wasn't even talking to her family didn't even know that she was so deep in with this guy. So even if she didn't see, had she, you know, people in her family, her friends knew about what was going on, somebody probably would have said, "A girl, I don't think," but no, nobody could have tell her anything because she kept a lot of things to herself. And this is part one through five. I think there's no part three, or is part three is mislabeled. I'm not sure, but that's just part one through five. So yes, even though she said that she did not know she was married to a pathological liar, like I said before, God knew, and God was trying to warn her before she got too deep in with this guy, but you know, she did not seek God in that sense. So, and then sometimes, even if you seek God, sometimes we are so, sometimes we are so desperate. We want this thing to work out. You really like this person. Even if you were to seek God, God tell you everything about the person. Sometimes we still go ahead, and that's when we regret it when it doesn't work out. So anyway, that like I said, that was part 1 through 5. We'll see how the rest goes. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.